Do you ever feel like your enemies just know where you are? They pre-fire you with seemingly no info and you don't have any chance to react. It feels like they're cheating, and sometimes they are. Most of the time though, they aren't cheating, but they are using the most powerful gadget in Rainbow Six. What is it? The humble little drone. Today we're going to learn how to use these drones effectively and hopefully make defenders think you're the one cheating. To do this, we need to touch on three main topics: droning basics, prep phase, and attack phase. Real quick, if you learned something from this video, please like and subscribe so I can make more of these. Alright, we're going to start with the basics of droning. Anytime you take your drone out, give yourself a goal. Are you looking to clear a room? Are you searching for roamers? Are you looking for enemy gadgets? These are the kind of questions you need to answer before you just drive your drone around aimlessly. Aimless droning is a waste of time, and if you don't value the information you could find, you're more likely to be careless and lose your drone with no benefit. Next, once you are droning, be present and active. Don't just drive straight through the rooms. You need to look around and move your drone so you can cover more angles. Make mental notes of things that are out of the ordinary. Is a window broken? Is someone watching cams? You need to make the extra effort by looking around corners and behind cover that's out of your way. If you're lazy, you can easily miss vital info that's just outside your view. Finally, and this is something that high-key drives me up a wall, you gotta stop red pinging. There is virtually no benefit to red pinging. When you scan, the enemy is alerted to the presence of your camera. Once that happens, your target raises their awareness and they're more ready to take a gunfight and destroy your camera. This deprives you of info and the element of surprise. Use the yellow ping. It doesn't alert enemies and it's the same info as long as you take the time to properly place it. If the ping is not precise enough, use your microphone and give better callouts to your teammates. Now that we've laid the groundwork, we can move into what I consider the most important part of droning. At the start of every round, prep phase gives you the opportunity to pre-plan and react to the initial setup of the defenders. Again, I'm going to reference Atheno, as I think he sums up a crucial mistake that many players make in this part of the round.
Hey bro, what are you doing?
Oh what, bro? I was just scrolling on TikTok right now.
This is why you're hard stuck and lost every single round. Listen man, drone phase is not phone phase. Listen, at the start of the round, you should be finding the bomb site and preparing a plan for the round.
As he says, many players just hop on their phone and don't take advantage of this time. An unintended side effect from phone phase is that players end up just leaving their drone at spawn, and some players even do this intentionally. While this makes sure you have two drones later in the round, it deprives you of crucial start of round info and planning. And also, I'm pretty sure many of the people who do this end up dying with an unused drone in their pocket. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have point chasers who just blast their drone into sight just to immediately get it destroyed. You really don't want to do this either, as most of the time you can infer which site the defenders will pick without even droning. I've talked a lot about things you shouldn't do in prep phase, so what should we be doing instead? As a team, you should have three goals in mind. 1. Quickly check where the site is from somewhere safe. Can you see wall reinforcements? Can you hear them setting up from below? Once you confirm where site is, see if you can gather any info surrounding the site itself. If you can see operators or gadgets, that's great, but don't force info at the cost of losing your drone early. 2. You need to clear your entry point in the building so that you have a solid start for map control. By droning these places out, you can approach them more confidently. A good example is here on Border. To get Armory Wall open, you need CCTV control so that you aren't stuck on the balcony. In prep phase, I will clear the room and find a relatively hidden spot for the drone. Now I have a plan on where to start my push, and I have info on that room too. Even if someone rotates into them, you can be aware and prepare for an early gunfight. Starting your push can be the hardest part of the round. You need to clear your entry so that you can get a foothold indoors in the first 30 to 45 seconds. 3. Lastly, you need to be aware of roamers. While you don't need to chase roamers down in prep phase, you should check the areas around your starting room and spawn peaks that are in between you and the building. Now that's a lot for one person to do in prep phase. So if you're alone, focus on droning the parts of the map you'll be going to. If you play with friends, you can divvy up these responsibilities based on operator roles. Support players, or people that are focused on getting the wall open, should be droning the entry locations, as they can stick on their drone while fragging players take the initial control. These drones should be placed safely, as once the round starts, the support players will be the ones droning for more info during the action phase, so they may need that first drone again. Fragging and flex players aren't primary droners, as they should be focused on taking the gunfights. To enable this, they should drone sight and set up flank cams that don't need to be moved later on in the round. Even if the drone dies, we would rather Ash loses hers over Thermite, as she won't need it much later on in the round. If you're interested in learning about operator roles, let me know in the comments and I can expand on it more in a new video. Now that the attack phase is started, you can approach your entry room. Before you hop in, you should check your drones again and see if it's still clear. In the time it took you to get from spawn to the building, defenders could have moved into your entry point. Whether it's clear or occupied, the fragger should go in first, either taking map control right away or engaging the opponents inside. All the while, support players should be watching the drones and providing info. After gaining this initial control, your options spread out drastically depending on the map, operator picks, and timing. Realistically, I can't go over how you should be pushing for each map and bomb site, but we can create a blueprint that applies to multiple situations. While your first drone has the job of start of round info gathering like map entry, site info, and flank watch, your second drone should be helping you move throughout the map. Now this is not always the case, but you can use that as a basic rule of thumb. Once you have your initial control, you can start moving to other parts of the map. As a solo player, you can drone yourself in relatively effectively. To do this, we need to recognize the main issue. You are your only source of info. We need to take every action with this principle in mind. When you drone yourself forward, imagine you and your drone are connected by a rubber band. The drone moves forward and extends the rubber band. Then you move your character forward and the rubber band retracts. In this example, I'm able to find someone on drone 1.5 rooms away. I'm a little slow on my push, but the info I gathered allowed me to move forward and get a pick on an unsuspecting enemy. The proper distance between you and your drone should be about 1 to 2 rooms, as this is far away enough for you to be safe from new threats and close enough for you to capitalize on fresh information. If you stretch the rubber band too far, it breaks, and you aren't really moving alongside your info anymore. This is because info perishes after a few seconds, as players can shoot your drone and reposition quite quickly. Being too far from your drone means that instead of knowing where someone is and attacking right away, you may get there too late, and what you saw on your drone just isn't the case anymore. In addition, if you drone for a long time, you become very exposed to anyone who ends up finding you. So stick to your drone and move up 1 or 2 rooms at a time. If you play with friends, or if you ask your randoms nicely, you can drone other people in and make this tactic work better and faster. Rather than a rubber band, imagine a sturdy rope in between the drone and the character. With each end being controlled independently, they can move at the same time through the map. This makes the info as fresh as possible, and the operator can react to the drone info more efficiently, even if it's destroyed. The person on drone should be actively talking and pinging for the person following them. This way, when the follower rounds a corner, they have a picture in their head of the next room and can focus their attention to the most important areas. If you do this well, the follower basically has wall hacks, and you can even use this strategy all the way up and through attacking the bomb site itself. Both droning alone and with a teammate boils down to the simple idea of info first, then gunfight. In practice, you kinda just drone, move. Before we end, I mentioned flank drones a bit, and I want to expand on them just a little more. You can think of it like this. Once you take map control over an important area, you are now a defender of that spot. Pretty much every round, a defender is going to think about flanking you. If you don't prepare for this, it's going to ruin otherwise winnable rounds. For example, if we're upstairs on border and attacking bathroom tellers, there are 2 stairways that a defender can flank you from. If you leave a cam on 90 hall, it covers metal, but only part of the east stairs flank, and it's pretty easy to see. It's better than nothing, but you can take it a step further. To do this, you can leave a cam on top of metal stairs and east stairs. These two drone spots can let you know if anyone's coming from either stairway, and they're harder to spot. You can bring Nomad and Gridlock or even Claymores, and these are great for flank coverage, but once they're triggered, there's no more coverage. If you go and combine them with the drone, you can capitalize off the utility even better. These droning tips can be applied to every map and bomb site, but the work you need to do is deciding when and where you need to take these steps. This is hard, and I work on it every time I play. It also requires you to place a higher value on drones and protect them throughout the round. After a while, you'll build up strategies and map knowledge so that you have a better droning plan and know when and where you need them. Alright, that's it for droning. So I really hope you guys got something from this video, and please let me know in the comments if you did. And I guess subscribe if you want to see the next video. Alright, we'll see ya.